yesterday, one of the people we were mentoring in Seattle at the Folk Life, what was it, the Tent by the Fountain live stream, asked a question, what camera should I get? I've been looking at a couple of them, and one she brought up was the FX30 or the FX3, and I said, you can go with either one. FX30 is great, FX3. And here's the package I told her to go with. I told her to go with something like this, something with rails, of course, a cage, an FX3. A couple reasons for it is the real audio package up here, the ability to do live streaming directly from a USB-C cable into a laptop like a MacBook or anything like that, raw output from the HDMI and also log, the ability to record internal long GOP or deliverable footage, or all I for better editing down the road, and in log. I recommended that she would get an Atomos monitor. The reason being is you can record on an SSD like such, and then give that to a client when you're done with the day. You would have upwards, depending on the format you were recording, 6 to 8 hours. I mean, if you're doing 30, you're gonna have longer. If you're doing 60, you're gonna have less time. But overall, you'd be able to get great recording in ProRes 422, ProRes 422 HQ, and ProRes RAW. Love all those features. Alongside that is some of the teams that you'd be working with would want SDI going out to whatever source they needed to go out to. This would change HDMI here to SDI in and out, which is nice. Or if she had to switch cameras that day, the monitor can go with her. What I didn't bring up was audio. I recommend, and this video will go out to her, F8N Pro or equivalent recorder, or an 833, but that'll be another $6,000. These are only 1,200 bucks. This unit up here is another 150 bucks. Great unit for catching the crowd or ambient, because you can get 120 degrees of sound in front of you or 90 degree sound in front of you, which is pretty phenomenal. The outputs on this happen to be XLR. They're mini XLR, but you can go mini XLR to XLR into the XLR inputs and have phenomenal audio going into your FX30. You also have a sub out here, so if you don't have XLR inputs, you can still use this sub out and put it into the headphones, the microphone jack on these. 8 channels of audio, backed up, so it has 2 SD cards, so 1 and 2, and then you get a backup as you're recording. Full controls here. You can switch and monitor all your channels and do all of your controls here. So pretty nice system altogether. One caveat. I use a wireless pro system. I used to use the UHF systems all the time. I have moved to this because it works so well. I haven't had many, if any, issues. Along with that, each one of the units records internally, so even if there's a little bit of drop in audio, it's already recorded. It's a backup to a backup to a backup. I tend to take this when I'm using this bigger unit. I tend to have this go directly into the Atomos recorder, and then I have the track that's coming from here going to the Sony, then come through the HDMI. And as you can see the track audio being recorded from the Sony here, and this is your mic line input here. You can match your frame rate up, and then boom, great recording. This package does 90% of the work you need to do. Caveat, you'll need a good video tripod. If you can't afford a $500 or $1,500 or $10,000 tripod, there's a couple tripods out there right now that have fluid heads on them, that have clutches, that are not expensive at all. Let me show you this one. Benro KH26P. There's a Ciru model that's similar to this too. 72 inches tall. Does have a drag control. So your tension can be controlled when panning left and right, which is important because you don't want to be too fast or too slow depending on the shot you're doing. And then of course, locking tilt, which is important too. Long story short, if you're looking for a really, really nice package to start your career off or be able to do anything you need to do, this is it. This is definitely more than what most people can start off to spend. The The whole package, see the monitor, lenses, filters, you're probably looking closer to 7 grand, but 7 grand to 9 grand, depending on what the heart of the system is. If it's an FX3, you're going to be closer to 9 grand. If it's an FX30, you're going to be closer to 7 grand. It's definitely worth it. You can get your rental fees on the equipment because you got to rent the equipment anyway. So why not rent this out? This whole package I usually rent out for about $400 a day. It's not bad at all. The client is really happy. They get everything they need. I do recommend that you ask the client to buy the memory so it's easy to deliver it immediately, or you're going to end up having to do a lot of uploading or meeting them for hard drive swapping information over. Other than that, I mean, this is a great camera to work with, and we haven't even talked about the cinema lenses that work on it and the rest. Y'all have a great day. Peace.